say thank you for waiting and being so patient. And we're ready to begin our program. And this is a happy day and a very, very happy occasion for all of us who've been working for the last few years on the dedication and the landmarking of this very, very historic structure. And I think it would be befitting right now if we would have a few words from our president, the president of the Michigan Street Preservation Corporation, Mr. Kevin Cottrell. Kevin?
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to thank the Nash family, especially Professor Nash and his father, for creating the legacy of the Nashes and giving this house and its contents to the community. I'll also thank the mayor and the common council for their support, who's been with us really for a very long time, ever since we started. Yeah. It's important that the community realizes that there are 4 things that are happening here. First, we are reinstilling community pride into this area. Secondly, we are maintaining the continuity of this once great community, this area of Michigan Street Corridor. Thirdly, we are creating a museum to the legacy of Reverend Nash, thus creating a tourism attraction on Buffalo's east side. Mind you, that has never been done before, in creating an attraction on the east side of Buffalo. And lastly, and most importantly, with the restoration of this home, we are spurring economic development to an underserved community using tourism as a tool, because this is the first official and formal designation of a house that maintains the continuity of the community of African American life and history. And like all the other areas of the city, the Cobblestone District, the Martin House Complex, Allentown, the Lower Michigan Avenue Heritage Quarter has been born, and this project is its first official start to rebuilding that dream. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. If I could, let me introduce just a few of the members of the Michigan Street Preservation Corporation who's here this afternoon. Our secretary and the gentleman who keeps our record straight for us, Mr. Willie Dorsey. Our banker and the person who keeps our money straight, and the gentleman who also is our, I'd say the gentleman who keeps us out of trouble and who guides us through our attorney and counsel, Mr. Jonathan Gardner. Ladies and gentlemen, I would at this time want to call upon the architect, Mr. Ted Lowney, to explain the rendering prior to the mayor signing the local law. Mr. Lowney?
Thank you, George.
Why don't you come up here, Ted?
All right. Well, what we've depicted here is what the house will look like when it is restored. We know enough about the house to be fairly certain about our depiction of the restoration work. Much of that is due and thanks to Professor Nash, who is recalling his memories here as a youth and sharing those with us so that we get an accurate portrayal. The house is very important to be restored, and it's important because of 2 things. One, what happened here. Important things happened in this building, and that's why it's important to save it. The other thing that's so important, we think, is that it's a very typical house. There are thousands of these houses all over Buffalo. Not necessarily where important things happened, but it is very representative, and that'll be more important, I think, in years to come, of the kind of building stock that this city grew from. So that's what it will look like we hope by fall of next year on the exterior, and we'll go from there to recreating the interiors as they were in the early part of this century, starting with the 2nd floor where the Nash family lived for so many years.
Thank you, Ted. And we're honored this afternoon to have with us Mr. James Tomorrow, who is with the New York State Archives, the regional director, and I'm going to call upon him to come and say just a couple words, please.
Well, thanks, George. I just want to congratulate the effort that's going on here in terms of restoration of this house. George serves on an advisory committee with me at the State Archives. I head up the Buffalo office of the State Archives. And I'm delighted with what's going on, and we'll look forward to working with you once we get to the archival records and offer some technical assistance in preserving the manuscripts and archival records that we found inside. Congratulations.
Thank you. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call upon the mayor to sign the local law officially designating 36 Nash as a local landmark in the city of Buffalo. Mayor?
Thank you very much, George K. Arthur, and certainly let me just say to the media and preface my remarks by saying we're sorry that this announcement and signing was delayed, but Jesse Nash gave me a lesson on how to cook chitlins on a turn-of-a-century stove. So thank you very much, Jesse, and ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, in all seriousness, to George K. Arthur and to Kevin Cottrell, thank you so very, very much for your vision and your stewardship in making the right thing happen here at the Jesse Nash home. We thank you for your perseverance in making this become reality, and certainly to the board of directors, to all of you that participated, to Jesse Nash Jr., to his son George, who's here with us, and to all the friends of the Nash family. Thank you so very, very much. What can I say other than thank you very much? I think this landmark designation that we're signing today, along with the $300,000 that we have funded for the restoration of this home through the Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency, is a great 1-2 punch. Money and landmark designations to help restore and resurrect the Nash home, a home of great history, of great sermons that were written, of great teachings that were thought out, of great communication to famous people about the importance of Buffalo and the African American community. People like Booker T. Washington, and certainly Mary Talbert and Clayton Powell and many others were communicated with from this particular residence by Jesse Nash Sr. And obviously those teachings now in this home will give future generations an understanding of the importance of African Americans to the past of Buffalo, but more importantly, as a living example and testament to the future of what they can contribute to our ever-growing and changing city. And yes, this Nash home now, when fully restored, will be a museum, will be a treasure that this community can realize and understand and enjoy. It could be an educational center for young African Americans and whites and others who want to know more about themselves and know about the past and where we're going in the future. It can certainly be an educational enhancement center for all the same reasons. Part of our cultural corridor and cultural history, and certainly a treasure for tourism to bring people to our city. When you combine this with the Michigan Street Baptist Church and also Broderick Park, one of the crossings of the Underground Railroad, we have so much here to be thankful about. But I want to thank all of you for making sure that this city did the right thing in restoring this magnificent facility so that we can give future generations of Buffalonians, future generations of African Americans, peace of mind and better understanding of who they were, where they come from, and where they are, but where they're going as a community. So George and Kevin and ladies and gentlemen, the board of directors, and to obviously the professor of my alma mater, Jesse Nash, let me thank all of you for making this dream become reality. Thank you. Now let's sign the document.
All right.
That's not it. We're
Oh, is it?
glass.
Whoa!
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take them out.
You take them out, George, because my hands are freezing. Okay.
Can you open it more, Mayor?
Yep. Okay. This is it. finish it off with one more, huh?
E-L-L-O.
Okay,
Now
thank
wanna
you very
make
much.
your presentation to Professor Nash.
Mr. Nash, Jesse?
Yes.
It's with great pleasure that, as mayor of this city with great history and certainly the significant contributions of African Americans to the city's past, but also the great things that your dad did, your mom did, and you have done, and I know your son George will continue to do, along with the rest of the African American community, and continually to make quality of life significant contributions to our society for the betterment of our people and our city. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you very much. It's absolutely too cold out here for me to speak, and so I'm not going to speak. And all the things that need to be said about what this ceremony is about have already been said. And I will now thank the mayor formally for spearheading this effort, this project, which is a project of possibilities. And this house will represent an extension of these possibilities, as Kevin Cottrell has outlined for us. And now I will pass this Common Council resolution, which the mayor has just given us, designating this home as a historic landmark, at least getting the process on the road, to Kevin Cottrell, who is the president of the Michigan Street Preservation Corporation, George Arthur, who is an unbelievable, incredibly awesome driving force. There'd be no other way to get me out here. I am absolutely amazed. I'm overawed. I don't understand any of this, and George Arthur says you don't need to. Just be here, and I'm about frozen to death now. And Willie Dorsey is the secretary. George Arthur, you see to it that Kevin Cottrell, who is the president,
right there.
I understand that. See to it that he gets this. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. All right, Mayor, thank you very much.